All right, they're synced.
And with this great lineup, there is something for everyone. Now, let's talk about the Mac. The Mac has always been an easy-to-use, yet incredibly capable...
Oh, here it is, the new MacBook.
Now let's hand it over to Johnny for a deep dive into this remarkable new chip.
Woo, Johnny! Oh, it's not Ives? Okay.
No one has ever applied a system-on-a-chip design to a Pro system until today.
The Pro. I bet it's gonna call it the Pro Max.
Probably.
God, I knew it! I knew it! Max!
Gosh, the latest 4-core PC laptop chip.
Lenovo.
M1 Max, they deliver dramatically more performance. To put that in perspective,
What about the 16 cores?
Don't talk about those.
But you have 16 cores.
Don't talk about
All right, you're right.
so here is a PC laptop with a powerful discrete GPU.
So that was a Lenovo. A Lenovo, I knew it!
Okay.
Perform on average over 3 times faster compared with the fastest Core i9 MacBook Pro. With some ML models,
The one that they released like years ago.
That 100 gigabyte Starship Enterprise, loading it all into memory, slicing through it, seeing every detail of that, it just hasn't been possible in any other piece of hardware.
Wait, what? Okay.
The result is something truly special.
I think we're looking for like 120 hertz screen. Oh, they got ports! Look at them ports! They took it away. And they brought it back. They took it away! They brought it back. Got MagSafe. Ports. HDMI. Audio. SD card. Holes. They got holes. They got holes.
Did they make the keyboard better?
We tricked you, rest of you PC makers, take your ports off.
What the hell is
Look
that?
at my dancing droves. Soft.
This is the all-new, completely redesigned MacBook Pro.
And an SD card slot enabling fast access to media.
They just finessed the industry. Everyone took off ports when they saw Apple did it.
Now they put it back in. They're like, dang it.
They just did the one.
Everyone's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, that was a big that was a 6-year trick. Because the 2015 was the last one that had it. Then they took it off,
They
did all
came
the
back
stuff.
again.
Came back again. Holy crap.
So I wonder how Apple people that were defending the previous one.
They're gonna flip. They're gonna do a complete 180.
Okay.
Yeah. They'd be like, yeah, you don't only need one port because USB-C is the future. Actually, we brought back everything that we gave away.
It's camera, high fidelity audio, and more ports, all for $19.99. And when you compare the new 16-inch Pro to the previous model, you also get a massive boost in performance and capabilities for $24.99.
Okay, I thought it'd be a lot more expensive.
Wait, order it today. What do you mean order it today?
Available next week. Yeah.
So overall, what do you think?
It's good for the HDR and the 8K. I don't know. I'm just like, it's cool, but as a creative, I'm like, I will say that in my brain, that when Microsoft did their thing, I don't know, it felt like, I don't know, it felt more, this is more like for video creation and more like 3D and stuff. They didn't really talk for like,
Well, because if you notice, if you watched the last stream, the M1, the first M1 Max, they actually talked about how all of that stuff were more like the casual user. So when you have, like, say for instance, the Microsoft laptop studio thingamajigger, that is only rocking an RTX 3060 at its highest end. And if you wanted to do any kind of video production, you can do it, but nowhere close to running 8K streams or multiple 4K and ProRes anything. So especially for people who use Final Cut, which is a lot of people growing every day, this is amazing because not only is it going to give you more performance than the huge, big, you know, $700 wheel Mac Pros, it's going to give you that performance on battery or off battery. So you'll be able to hook it up to multiple displays and you can really have this as the centerpiece of your whole creative world. So having 17 hours of battery life and having all the ports that you need without using dongles, now you can upgrade from your MacBook, not have those dongles and plug directly into the laptop itself. So that's a big boon. So overall, I think that this MacBook Pro, I think that they tricked the industry into basically going
hard left.
Exactly. They tricked the industry into going like, hey, this was what we were gonna plan it all along, but the technology wasn't there, or what we wasn't there, and we went and we took the ports out of everything, and we give you the finger bar, and we changed the keyboard. Everyone was like, no, we don't like that. Please return it to how it was. So then they're just like, all right, the industry is going this way.
Yeah.
Now we can go back.
And that was like a testament even in the beginning where they had like the old school Mac.
Yep.
That was, and
they're going back to their roots.
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're going back
Yeah.
to their roots.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Honestly, like this gives me hope because Apple went ahead and did their own stuff. Now, Apple is still being Apple in a lot of ways, but you know, with the weird graphs and all the charts. But we've seen with the previous MacBook that they're backing it up now. Before they had to kind of make excuses for Intel saying like, hey, we can fudge the numbers a little bit and make it look like this. But now with the whole M1 MacBook Pros and stuff and how they can show the performances, especially in such a small package like the 14 inches, to be honest, they got a win on their hands. They're going to sell out, and it's going to be sold out for probably well into 2022.
Yeah.
Because if you were anyone that edits anything on ProRes or DaVinci, this is now the best laptop to do so. Because before you have to get like an RTX 3080 in your laptop, and you're spending $4,000, and in the end of the day, you have a big chunky laptop that is going to eat a lot of power, and when you take it off of the plug-in battery, that's it. It doesn't last long, and it won't perform as well. So Apple... They tricked the industry, they juked them, did a whole 180, and now we're back to having the ports, having the screen, having the performance, having the battery life, and they got it all now, and then no one can really compete.
Yeah.
Sad. It's sad, but that's only what Apple did. They played it.
All they need to do now is like focus on games. If they can like somehow make it all in one, that'll probably be the end goal. If they make it all in one computer, that could be also games.
The thing, that's the one weak point with the M1. The weak point of all of this is that the gaming. You can't game on it. Apple has their own arcade games, and
but that's mostly for like the iPad.
Yeah, and you can run like Rosetta to run some previous games. So if you wanted to play League of Legends while you're rendering something, sure. You probably don't want to do that. You smash the keyboard. You don't want to do that. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. But if you wanted to go ahead and, what am I trying to say? If you wanted to go ahead and like play like little games, you can. But say for instance, everyone's getting on Fortnite, Apple. Everyone's getting on like Call of Duty Warzone. Everyone's getting on that stuff. That's not something you can do. But the crazy thing is that Mac people or Mac users, you guys are used to this. You guys are used to not playing games for over a decade at this point. So y'all, games are not even in your vernacular. You're not thinking about games at all. They're not thinking about any of that stuff. They're just like, let's go ahead and get the work done, and we're gonna have a separate gaming system for whatever it is. I mean,
But also too, I would like to see where you could use like your Apple iPad, like, and connect it with.
You can do a secondary monitor.
So you can, like, as you can use as a, like if you're
or
drawing
like a
on
digital
Procreate,
tablet.
Yeah, if you're drawing on Procreate, can you connect that and play like?
I don't think they want to give you that much functionality. See, like I said, Apple is still being Apple.
Yeah.
They're not giving you that much functionality.
They have the ports now. You can do multiple things. That'd be cool.
But remember, if Apple really wanted to give that functionality, they would have made the iPad Pro a MacBook. They would have had it with a keyboard. They would have been able to put Mac OS on there. Would have been perfect is that if Apple had the iPad and you boot it up, it's like, hey, do you want to go into iPad or do you want to go into Mac OS? Kind of like how you would do like if you booted up Windows and Linux together. You would actually have two different systems.
But they already have the universal apps they were talking about. So I'm like, it's right there.
They do, but they don't want to cross the line into selling less devices. They want you to have the Apple 6K display. Which is $6K, $6,000. They want you to have they want you to have the MacBook Pro Max, which is going to be probably $4,000 after you fully configure it or whatever, probably more. They want you to have an iPhone, yes, and they want you to have an iPad for when you're on the couch and you just want to do stuff. They want you to have all four devices. So think about it. If they had an iPhone that was like folding, like a Samsung Fold, now that's your iPhone and your iPad, they just lost $1,000. Then if they had an iPad or iPhone that can be a computer, think about it, they just lost your MacBook, so that's another $2,000 or so. So now you're already down $3,000. So now if you did that and you're like, oh, you have full compatibility for all these different displays, you can go and you can just buy like a 4K something else display for like $400, and it's better for you because you only spent maybe like $1,500 after everything. But for the people who are going into and saying like, okay, I got the MacBook Pro, I got the 6K display, I got the iPad and the iPhone, you're looking at spending $1,000 for the iPhone, $1,000 for the iPad Pro, $1,200 for the iPad Pro, the big one, the good one, 6K, so that is already $8,200, and then you buy a MacBook Pro, you're spending $10,000 versus you can put all the functionality in one device and only spend, I would say, conservatively $2,000. So they just made $8,000 extra from you, and you're still going to buy Apple services and still pay for iCloud and everything.
Yeah.
Why you think Apple is a $1 trillion company?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole spit right there. That Apple is a $1 trillion company because they can sell you device after device after device, and then they can sell you service and service and service on top of that device, and they make that money back hand over fist. And everyone else in the industry is trying to be like them, which we're going to see tomorrow in the Google's event. Google wants to get like Apple because hey, they want to get that money, but unfortunately,
Y'all got juked.
yeah,
So-
Apple is Apple.
Yeah.
You can't do that. They're really good at Apple is really good at being Apple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Google, you got tricked. The rest of the industry, you got tricked. Apple, you know what? Even though how much it bemoans me to say this,
Yeah.
you guys, y'all played them. Y'all played them hand over fist, and they fell right into your trap.
Yeah.
Like, just think about it. If at the time, 2015, when Apple started releasing like the newer MacBooks with like the bad keyboard and the crappy webcam and everything, if the industry just said, you know what? Let's keep our ports. Let's make better screens. Let's work on our own design. Dell, HP, and everyone would have gone their different ways. XPSs would have been better. HP, I forgot they have the ZBooks and all the other stuff. That would have been better. And Toshiba probably wouldn't have got sued for the... No, don't talk about Toshiba. But if they went their own way, right? And at the same time, Samsung would have been like, you know what? Let's actually make the Samsung phones great. Let's make sure that DeX is amazing. Let's make sure that the SD cards is amazing. Let's make sure the audio amp is good. Let's make sure all that stuff is good. So in 6 years, Samsung would have been a no-brainer. Dell and HP would have just been stomping all over not AMD, all over Intel and MacBook, right? It would have been really bad.
Everybody just sat and waited.
Yeah, everyone sat and waited, and they copied what Apple did. So then they kind of like, they were like neck and neck. And then Apple did one thing and made it revolutionary with the one port USB-C, whatever. And everyone kind of fell in line behind them.
Yeah.
And then now, as they fell in line, Apple's like, oh, I'm not even on that track anymore. I'm on a whole different thing. And they're just like, but we're on this track, all right? Well, now, because you already know that Apple had working on this for years.
Yeah.
They've been working on this for 2-3 years in the making.
Yeah.
So now everyone want to switch over to now including ports and having their laptops to be better and
Stuff
using
that ain't
better.
good enough.
Nope.
Stuff
You're going to be 2 to 3 years behind Apple.
Yeah.
You're never going to catch up.
Dang.
You're never going to catch up now, guys. So good luck, Google, tomorrow. You're going to need it.